Hello, welcome to The Wandering Drew. I am Drew. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. This video I'm going to put at the end of my equipment video and discuss what the TGO challenge that I did in May of 2023 kind of meant to me, and just to recap a little bit some of the things that I, good, bad, and otherwise, I guess. But mostly it was all good. As you've heard me talk about it, I cannot speak highly enough of this hike. I think it was great. I enjoyed it immensely. It's in some ways the biggest hike I've ever done. It's 200 miles I did, so which is the longest that I've done continually. But obviously it was overseas, it was in a different country. It was a route that I had picked, which I think is what is so unique about the TGO challenge. So if you're even thinking about it or looking at these and on the fence, I would suggest you go out, you apply, research it, apply when you can, and try and get a spot and do the TGO challenge. I would love to do this again. I can't speak enough about how great I enjoyed it. It was so great, as I think I mentioned in another video if I haven't. I know I said to other people, I'm ready to turn around and go back again. When I got to Aberdeen in the end and Montrose at the end, I was ready. I would have loved to have turned around and walked right back to the west coast of Scotland. I would have loved to have continued hiking. And that's the first time I've ever been on a hike that I felt, that I never was out there doubting, what am I doing? Why am I out here? Why am I, why am I out here hiking? Why am I depriving myself? I never felt once there was that, person on the shoulder saying, hey, let's go home, or let's go get a hotel room and quit for the day. And that was very important for me. I think it was a great confidence boost for me to go to a foreign country, travel, do a route that I had researched, and make that plan to fruition and succeed. And success begets success. The more you hike, your ability goes up, your confidence level goes up. And I gotta say, to me, it was a landmark hike in the sense of that it's the first time I felt like a hiker, like a through hiker. I felt that once or so before when I've done the Benhody in Alabama. When I got to Heflin, I felt accomplished, I guess I could say. And this hike was the same for me. I did obviously have some trials. The first day was great until the second half of it, where I was in that bog. And that leads into another thing that I would do, which would be research more. The trail is marked on a map, but in reality, when I got out there and I started hiking, there was no trail. Now, I think a lot of that has to do with the area, because I don't think it's used very often, so there's not a clear trail. Also, because I think it floods, or it gets quite muddy, that a trail doesn't remain there. It's not used enough to mark that trail, and the land terrain itself doesn't lead itself to having a trail. If you saw the next day, there was a proper trail there. There was a line that you could see where it was worn out, and a track that you could follow, and that was much better. But that first day, I lost the trail a couple of times, and I found some deer trails and everything, but I didn't find a proper trail, and it was a little frustrating. I knew I was on the right road, I was going the right way, it was just slow going. And I put it a lot to the Everglades in my experience. Obviously everybody won't have that experience, but I likened it to that a lot because you're walking through mud and water. So there's no chance for a trail to remain there. It's only gonna be seasonal. And I think just because I was there, probably after the winter and it had rained, there had been a lot of rain several days before I arrived there. And there was rain obviously that day as well, but not as much, that the area was just flooded, so there's not going to be a trail. Going back to that, I would do a different route. Obviously, I wouldn't do the same route again, but even if I had my way, this was not the route that I originally wanted to do. It's the one I settled on. It was a compromise of many different things. I would do more of the route that I want to do, which would be further south. I would have spent a lot more time in the highlands. I loved hiking in the highlands way more than I did the D-side way. The D-side way was nice. It was good. When I picked that route, I kind of spent a lot of time picking my way up through probably through Braemar, where Balmoral is. But after that, I kind of just picked the D-side way, and it was an easy choice because it covered the last 40-something miles, and there was really no thought to it in the sense of it's a trail, it's a marked trail, and it's quite easy to follow. And there wasn't a lot of planning that had go in that, just where I was going to stop. And you do pass through little towns and villages, and there's ample opportunity to get supplies. So I never filtered water after that. I just bought water. I carried it. I didn't use a lot. It was cooler temperatures, or it was raining. But I mean, I was on a trail, and I walked from town to town and then go get food. So that was good. I really enjoyed that, and it was it was a unique experience for that. And I wish I would have had more time, probably or I would have taken time to explore some of these little towns and villages that I passed through. Especially at night, I think I would have liked to have experienced them a little more. I did explore some of them, but a lot of them, you're walking all day, you want to rest your feet, and the only way to get around is to walk a lot. And sometimes you just decide not to do that, and you already did a little bit of walking that day, and you have more, and you want to rest your feet and be ready for the next day and the challenges again. But I wish I would have socialized a little bit more with some people, maybe go to the pub with them. And I had a little bit of that in certain places, but it wasn't as much as I thought it would be in certain places. And I never really walked with anyone. Probably the most I ever walked with someone was 30 minutes, 45 minutes. I'll say an hour, but it definitely wasn't any more than that. Most days I was by myself, which I really liked, and I think that was good for me. That worked out really well. The fact that I was able to, in essence, hike my own hike, my pace, stop when I want, go when I want, and do what I want, I think is very important. At night, I think in a town or at a campsite, it was nice to interact with other people, other hikers. At Coogee Lodge, I socialized a little bit there. At Morag's Lodge in the village there, where I stayed overnight in that hostel, I got a little bit of that, but everyone was really off doing their own thing. I did meet Rob, and I saw the two girls that I hiked with, a day or two before, and then I saw later on at the end. But a lot of those people I didn't really spend a lot of time with. Gordon, obviously, I came in contact with him like 3-4 days, but only when we were camping, never when we were hiking. We always went different ways. We would start at different times or just not see each other on the trail, but we might see each other in camp at night, which was nice. So I would like to do a little bit more of that and spend maybe some time in the pubs and explore towns. I would like to visit the castle at Balmoral. This time I would do it properly, come in as a visitor, maybe walk around the grounds. I would have liked to have taken more pictures there. Would have liked to have taken more pictures even in the highlands. My route didn't have a lot of good views, I feel, because the weather was fogged in. There were nice photos, and my camera, which I brought with me, my S22 Ultra, did a great job of taking photos, but I think I would have liked to have had a camera. I was really glad I did not bring my camera, though, because that first day when I fell, I think I would have cracked that camera or damaged it quite severely. It was a really hard fall. As a matter of fact, my wrist is still not 100% healed up, in my opinion. It's 3 months later. It just does not feel 100%. My chest is fine, but my wrist, I still feel there's a loss of strength in it, I guess you'd call it. It just does not feel as good as the left one. The right one just feels a little weaker. I have been going to the gym. I'm going to start working it out more, but it just does not feel the same. I feel it more. I tend to notice it. It could be psychological, but I feel that it's still not 100%. But other than that, the camera did a great job. The phone, that is, did a great job of taking all the videos. And all the videos I shot, and or all part of my channel, the videos were shot on that camera from my phone, which I think did a good job. But by taking the phone and leaving the new camera home, probably saved me some stress, and also probably 2 pounds of weight, which was important to me at the time. And going into weight, I would, some of my equipment I went through. I wouldn't change too much. I think my equipment was really dialed in. I probably would take less clothes, probably not 2 pairs of clothes, but it worked well for me, especially since one of the pairs ripped and I ended up throwing it away. So I did lighten up. But if I was going to do this again and start over, I would definitely pare down my clothes selection a little bit more. Maybe even leave 1 or 2 things home, like my fleece with that wind shirt. I think it does an excellent job. That was probably my favorite piece of equipment, and I would recommend anyone hiking in a windy or cold area to bring one of those. And then between that and my puffy and just my shirt, I was able to regulate my heat pretty well, or my coolness, whether I got hot or not, very well just with those things. And I'll be using that probably going forward. I might leave the heavier fleece home. And as I said, this is the first hike that I felt really good, felt like a through hiker, and I think that is immense for my confidence, and that's going to lead me to more trips and adventures going on. have another trip coming up this fall that I'm going to be taking. By the time you see this video, I will probably be already on that hike, and I'll do another video for that. And I have another hike planned already for next year that I'm contemplating doing. Well, pretty much it looks like I'm going to do it. So I'll be announcing that as well. So in short, had a great hike. I think it's a great experience. I would recommend it again. I would love to do the TGO again. I hope to be a challenger in the future. I don't think it'll be in 2024, perhaps 2025. I would pick a different route. I would spend more in the highlands. I would definitely have gone a different route, probably do a mountain or two in Monroe. And I would like to, I definitely wouldn't go to Aberdeen, but going to Aberdeen, I think I should have taken a day there and walked around and explored a little bit more. Not just go to the lighthouse and back. I probably should have stayed there overnight. I had time, I was done early. I could have easily gotten a hotel room. Part of me didn't want to spend the money, as well as it was crowded. And after being in the woods and being alone, it was kind of a little off-putting. I mean, you slink back right into it, but it was weird being around so many people and traffic and noise after you've been in the woods a little bit. So that was my experience, but I had a great experience, and I would recommend anyone taking the crossing of a TGO challenge as a opportunity to expand their hiking ability and their experience. And I hope to do so again in the future. Appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch these videos. As always, please leave a comment below. I respond to all of them. If you have any thoughts, comments, questions, opinions on my hike or any other hikes I've taken or equipment or something like that, I'd be more than glad to assist you or answer or comment on that. If I can help you out in any of your hikes, I'd appreciate the opportunity to do that. If you feel so inclined and you like what I'm doing, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you're not a subscriber already. It lets me know, that people are watching and they're out there and they're interested. When I first started this, I think it's 3 or 4 years ago now, making all these videos, I really didn't think people would really be interested and it wouldn't do well. But it's done better than I thought. Obviously, it's not exploded, but that's okay. It's growing, and it's really for me to share what I'm doing and my experiences, and also to look back and see, what I've done in the past and have a record of it. So thank you so much for joining me. Till we meet again.